Okay guys, so Hulu just dropped a documentary about the Fyre Festival disaster that happened in 2017. It's just days before the one, it's coming out on Netflix, produced with help from the people in Jerry Media, which was responsible for a lot of the media marketing for the Fyre Festival itself. How do we go from something that was marketed to be the new Coachella with top artists like Good Music and Blink-182 to this complete disaster? I'm not sure how much you know about the whole event that happened in 2017, but I, a couple months ago, followed a video by Austin Dallas, I think. There was some YouTubers were documenting their whole experience to show up to this festival and realize that there was such piss poor planning and then trying to escape when they realized that there weren't even enough beds for everyone. There was no food, there was no organization. Hulu gets the scoop on Netflix here, developing a little documentary that includes a one-on-one interview with Billy McFarland, who was the CEO or the whole organizer of this whole event. And where does the Hulu documentary start? Of course, we spend about an hour learning about the backstory of this guy. I mean, he's an entrepreneur, he's a go-getter, he's also a con art to the effect of about like $23 million that he owes investors and the $100 million lawsuit that is being filed against him on behalf of all of the victims of this whole event. The man is a millennial who took advantage of the power of the internet. So taking a bite of the whole social media marketing that's available to us at our fingertips, with the ability to like be present on Facebook and Instagram and use to his advantage the influencers that we have that make brands relatable and that make brands popular with just a single post. Well, Billy went on and spent a bunch of money on people like this to help influence his Fyre Festival, which was going to be his new biggest thing. He also was using this Fyre Festival to brand and develop his app, the Fyre app, which was going to be essentially the Tinder of connecting people looking for entertainment with the entertainers themselves. That's a whole side story to this Fyre Festival disaster. We have the fact that he rushed into this plan, and what's really funny in this documentary is they have Delroy, I think his name was a bartender being based in the Bahamas. Through the whole thing, he just kind of, is scratching his head and trying to tell them that this isn't possible. Like, you can't buy an island or buy a spot to have this festival and then have it go down in 4 to 6 months or something. And that's really what they tried to do. And thankfully, through his influence in the social media marketing that he's done, gets Ja Rule, with Ja Rule there and the help of Fuck Jerry Media, they're out there like blasting the Fyre Festival online. And then Ja Rule is out here like pushing that it's gonna be the next big Coachella, and they're all believing this. They're all believing that they can put this festival together in like 6 months. Well, plot twist, that costs a lot of money. So you have to invest in your production team. You have to invest in like the people to actually put this all together. Put that into a quantity. He buys $2 million of alcohol for this event. Kind of like the climax or tipping point for the actual like realizing this is a disaster for everyone. The $2 million in alcohol, you have to pay like taxes on that, or with like duty, like they had to pay duty for it in the Bahamas, which is 45% of $2 million is about like $900,000. Well, they don't have any money, and they're really banking on the fact that this whole event will go down so that they can freaking afford it. So what does he do? He starts another scam. He is already forging like wire transfers to his investors, the people that are people who are providing services. Bring to the center stage the Fyre wristbands that was supposed to be a cashless way for people to pay, but the email that went out to these people, and they actually had to put something down on there to be able to like function in this little economy that they were going to have at the Fyre Festival. So time's ticking down, a month out from the actual event, already faking wire transfers. He's already like lying to the customers to where they're selling fake villas at the effect of like tens of thousands of dollars. If you've ever seen the videos of what happened at the Fyre Festival, these villas like weren't a thing. Like when they showed up, there were FEMA tents. Like they were plastic pop-up tents that had nothing inside of them that was promised to them. What this really reminds me of, to a much larger scale is TanaCon was they hired a media company or an event company that was run by a 22-year-old kid to host basically an event that was a big FU to VidCon. So she had her own event just down the street on the same weekend and said that it's going to be free. Anyway, middle, everyone shows up and there is not enough space in the event for 4,000 people. They only had an event space at the Marriott that hosted the location. The space was for maybe 1,000. The event company was lying to her the whole time, oh yeah, it's gonna be fine. That just led to thousands of people being stuck out in the parking lot who had come from all over the country, stuck in the LA heat that they weren't prepared for, no water or food provided. The VIP passes that everyone paid for were supposed to be exclusive, and the general admission was supposed to be free. Well, the general admission passes were MIA. You didn't see anybody walking around with those Gen Ed passes. So bringing that back to what happened at the Fyre Festival, they did the same thing, realizing they weren't gonna be able to afford their millions of dollars that they're racking up in services. So they canceled said that the general admission tickets were sold out. The Fuck Jerry media, it was responsible for a lot of the posting online, and there were people out there trying to blow up this fraud before it even happened, and they were unfortunately responsible for the posting online, and they were told to block, which I didn't know you could do this, they were told to block certain comments that referred to any keywords such as everything from fraud, scam, were blocked, and you'd be temporarily blocked from posting. And that was all the Jerry media is doing. Funny enough, they are partly responsible for the Netflix documentary. So is this a stance on the fact that Hulu is trying to be unbiased or take a different stance on it than the one that Netflix is going to come out with on Friday? So I'm really interested to see that. There's lots of personal experiences of people online. If you want to see a first-person view of what happened, watch the Hulu documentary. I just did, and it was pretty intense, just giving you the shot-by-shot details of how deep this scam went, how many decisions were made by Billy to just keep moving forward when they knew it was all going to just fall apart. And I'm excited to see what the Netflix one has to say. It seems to be that social media is such a powerful tool to market things like this, that it's becomes a disaster very quickly. So 2017 was Fyre Fest, 2018 was TanaCon. Wonder what's going to happen in 2019. We'll keep you posted. Peace.